tonight we had to do a good job of finding our matchups. They were switching a lot. We were patient, and we found our matchups. John had some matchups in the paint and just really did a solid job of scoring when he had the matchups in the paint. Defensively, just really did a good job again, defending the ball. He had to defend three positions tonight. Middleton, he was on Lopez, he had Giannis, and just did a solid job. He's been consistent, and that guy who has helped us really all season long. Just another solid job by John.
Next question from Vinny Goodwill.
Nate, if my math is correct, I think this is the 6th road game you guys have won in this playoff run. That's kind of rare for a team so young. Did you see that type of poise and, the sort of don't scare mentality? Did you see it translating this way?
I felt we built ourselves to be able to play on the road. And, I've told them that they're built for this. And, again, tonight we got off to somewhat of a slow start. I thought we just needed to get our second win. Looked like we just was running in mud that first quarter. And we just stay with it, continue to stay with it. We kind of got a rhythm, found out what they were doing defensively. We were able to take advantage of some matchups. Defensively, we brought the defense to the floor again in the second half and was able to come up with big stops. But they really just kept their poise, kept their composure, for the full 48 minutes, which is what is required in these playoff games.
All right, we're going to take a couple from the room. We're going to start with Sarah.
You guys were down. It was 7, about 4 minutes to go. Just what was the biggest thing that got you guys back to the game?
Well, again, we've been in this position many times, and 7-point game. That's really 3-possession game. We feel that we know what we need to do. We need to get stops, and we need to execute and score. And they did another solid job of executing down the stretch. Again, finding that matchup. They went to really 1 through 5 switching, and it became somewhat isolation ball. So it was just a matter of us finding the matchup that we wanted on the offensive end of the floor. And then, defensively, I thought Solomon came in and really did a nice job, defending with that small lineup going down the stretch.
I know you've seen Trey score a bunch of points before, but what impressed you most about him doing it on this kind of stage and this kind of opponent as well?
I mean, they have really good defenders, and what I respect about Trey, he's going to always stay aggressive, and he continued to stay aggressive and take his shots. And tonight, those shots were falling for him. I thought he did a good job of again, reading the defense and getting the ball and putting the ball in the hands of guys who had their matchups. John had a few matchups. Gallinari had some matchups. And so a good job of reading the defense, getting us organized, and executing against their defense.
Chris with The Athletic.
Nate, what can you say about the mental makeup of this team to now win 3 straight game ones on the field?
I just hope that they're maturing and they're showing that growth, and they start to believe in what we are doing and how we practice and condition ourselves to play. We just try to play the game the right way, play with the energy, play selfless basketball, and always we talk about that fist and being connected. I think that's what you're seeing from these guys going down the stretch on both ends of the floor.
Joe Barden.
Hey, Nate, I'm right behind the TV here. You said earlier that you guys were built for this when you were asked about winning on the road. But on March 1st, you were 14-20. And Trey and John weren't getting along. There were all these all these problems. How hard was it to fix what was wrong at that point? And what do you mean by you're built for this now?
We just continue to condition ourselves to play this style of basketball. Aggressive defensively. We want to build two-way guys. We understand that we have depth, so we want guys, unselfish basketball. Playing the game together, and committing to each other. So those were the things that basically when I took over. That's just what I believe in. And I believe that you play the game the right way, you play the game together, you give that effort, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win games. And they've been able to learn how to execute down the stretch. Trey continues to show growth in running the team. They continue to improve. All of them playing together. So again, it's different guys, different night. It was Kevin the other night. It was Trey tonight. John did a real solid job. Solomon didn't play much in the last game. He stepped in tonight and gave us some really good minutes. They continue to just believe in each other and play the game the right way.
Right. Tim? It seemed like, especially early on in the game, the Bucks were pretty content to let Trey try and get to that floater range and kind of take those shots and stick to everybody else. Was that the way you saw it? And do you think that because you had so much success with that, you guys were able to kind of dictate win from there with one way to go small?
Well, that's their defense. Their guards do a good job of sending you to Lopez, who's deep in the paint. And, basically, that's the shot that they want to force you to make. Trey has to make a read in a situation like that, whether he has the shot or he has to kick out. And, but that's their defense. They keep their five in deep drops and, force you to try to shoot over their guards and their bigs.
But it seemed like as the game went along, they kind of switched away from that. And in part, I would assume because of the success Trey had. And do you think that some of that momentum he was able to get early in the game was part of why he was able to have so much success kind of going into those matchups and taking advantage from down the stretch also?
Yeah, I mean, they adjusted their defense to try to cover our guards who were attacking. And that's when they went to basically switching everything. Again, this is something that we have seen. We've really tried to condition our guys to be prepared for, because we talked about in playoff basketball, you're going to see this defense. And once you see this defense, now you got to find out where the ball should go, and then you got to win the matchup. And tonight we was able to win the matchups when they went to their switching defense.
Okay, we're going to take one question from the room. Steve, then we'll turn over to the Zoom room.
How a 19 rebounds up with that had really their team that prides themselves on under the board, +6 rebound margin. How big is the rebounding in general?
It's key. They are an elite offensive rebounding team, and that is a major key for us to rebound the basketball. And tonight, I thought we gave up some offensive rebounds in that first quarter, really the first half. And we started to clean it up and we won the boards, but we got to do a better job of rebounding the basketball, because they do a great job. Their guards get in there and they fight for those extra opportunities. The bigs are tapping it out for extra possessions. So we got to do a better job on the boards, and we got to do a better job of keeping the ball in front of us. I mean, we gave up 70 points in the paint tonight, and I think our defense can be better than that. It needs to be better than that.
Jeff Schultz from The Athletic.
Nate, you referenced the road wins earlier. This is the third straight series that you opened on the road with a win. Obviously, you didn't have a full strength bogey. You've had other issues. It doesn't seem like anything phases your players. Have you ever been involved with a team at all like this where nothing seems to phase them? It doesn't really seem to matter what the odds are or what people say?
We've talked about that from the beginning, Jeff. Just you can't listen to the outside noise, good or bad. So we know that, you know, the next game is going to be even harder, and we're going to have to play better to get that win. And that is our focus. You know, each night we come out and play. We want to give everything that we have, and we want to execute out there. And whatever the result, you know, whether we win or we lose, you know, we'll look at tape tomorrow. There's a lot of room for improvement. We're going to need to be better. And that's our mindset, you know, not listening to what folks are saying that we can or cannot do. It's all about us, you know, the guys that's in the room. You know, those are the guys that's going to get it done. And, you know, that's the approach that we have taken.
Is there a ceiling for your team?
I don't know. You know, we're going to just continue to try to come out and be better than we were in our last out.
Mark Schwartz from ESPN.
Hey, Nate. Trey is taking a master's class right now against world-class defensive teams, world-class individual defensive players, and this is his first playoff run of his career, and he's doing it at such an elite level. What is it that allows him to conquer every challenge with such poise at this time of year in his first go-around?
Well, I think he just has the skill that these top players have in this league. You have to put him with the top guys in the league. He really doesn't have a weakness on the offensive end of the floor. You know, he can shoot from deep. You know, he stretches the floor. He has a mid-range game. He will pass the ball, find his teammates. He shoots free throws well. So, you know, he's seen all the, you know, the defenses that teams have played against him. And we've talked about this throughout the season. He's seen a box and one. He's seen bigger defenders. He's seen physical defenders. You know, he has seen teams trap and try to get the ball out of his hands. And this is part of the growth that he has to go through. And the good players, they go through this and they learn from it. But they don't allow the different coverages to take them out of their game. They still find ways to be productive. And Trey has been able to do that.
Would you say he has met or maybe even exceeded your expectations of what he could do on this stage in his first go-around?
I think he's a young player, so there's a lot more room for growth for Trey. You know, this is his first time in the playoffs, and you know, as I basically working with him during the season, I really felt he was built for this time of the season. He's a fearless player. He's a confident player, and you know, he's a kid that, you know, every second that he's on the floor, he's giving it to you. You know, he's given everything that he has, and you know, so I really feel that his game, his style of play, is really built for this time of the season.
James Hill.
Nate, there's something special about your ball club. Can you talk about the intangibles? And again, they're able to go on the road, get that first one again, and then just kind of set the foundation for a great series.
I don't know. You know, I love working with these guys. You know, they bought into what we've tried to give them as far as the mindset that they need, establishing their style of play. They've committed to being better. They've committed to being to each other, and all these guys are sacrificing to make this team better. And they've done that. They've been doing it, and they continue to do it. And again, I think a lot of teams, really all NBA teams, have a lot of talent. But when you get a team that is committed to each other, playing the game the right way, playing the game for each other, playing the game to win, you got something special there. And I really do feel that we do have something special with this group.
Coach, in closing, Clint, can you talk a little bit about him hitting the glass and competing on the boards?
Yeah, well, he had the assignment tonight of, he leaves the Philadelphia series guarding Embiid, and tonight he had Giannis. We believe in him. He's been the anchor to our defense, both guarding the ball, help defense, rebounding the basketball, setting screens, freeing up the ball. He's just such a big part of this team and how we try to attack. He's become, a really important part to the success of this team.
All right, we'll do two more. Chris Kirchner with the Athletics.
Nate, since you've taken over, what have your conversations been like with Trey, just about his leadership abilities on?
We're just talking to him about, from one point guard to another, and a young, talented point guard. I've been in his position before. I certainly don't have the talent that he has on the offensive end. And basically, this team was an organization is trying to take that next step. He is a big part of this organization taking the next step because he is the guy that is going to lead us to that style of basketball. So there's a lot of conversation on, good and bad, as far as watching film and, talking about things that happen out on the floor and really giving him more control to run the team. I think in the last starting probably the last series, he's calling most of the plays. And I want that because I want him to have a feel for what's going on, how to get his teammates involved. And he's done a really good job of doing it.
As a point guard, how important is it to have that leadership where not only you can run the offense and call out plays, but to have that ability to get your teammates to trust in you to be that leader?
Well, basically, he has to show that growth, and he has to show that trust in his teammates, and he's done that. He's done that with Bogey. He did it the other night with Kevin. Getting Kevin the ball late in Game 7. Tonight, taking his, while being aggressive, he saw that we had matchups in the post, and he made sure that John and Gallo had the ball. So it's really adapting to, as we talk about conditions, especially in the fourth quarter. He's been able to slow down and manage that fourth quarter by adapting to conditions. And he's doing a good job of getting us organized and executing.
All right, Coach, your final question is going to come from Paris.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask kind of how you would assess Bogey and how he's feeling on that knee. He doesn't look fully himself, but obviously he's trying to give you everything.
He is giving us everything. And, it's pretty obvious that there's some soreness there. But again, this is the way this team has been built, he does not want to sit out. He's trying to give us whatever minutes he can give us. And it really has helped us the last few games, being able to have him out there because he's still a threat. And, but these guys have been doing this all season long.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
All right, we have Trey coming right now. Hey, that's it.
Trey, we got media in the room, obviously, and on Zoom. We're going to start with questions from the room. Malika?
I have two. First, what is it about this team? Winning game ones on the road is hard. What is it about this team
Really just our attention to detail. Like, we've been very focused and very locked in when it comes to preparing for our opponent, and we know we didn't get a high seed, so we got to try to steal one on the road. And game one is definitely a game that you can really surprise that team. And I think with the way we've been playing coming out of the gate, you can just tell we're really focused on our attention to detail when it comes to that team.
I gotta ask you about right before you hit that three, you hit your little shit. What was going through your mind then? What was you trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of time. And was kind of tired a little bit, so I got a little second to get a deep breath and knock it down.
All right, Steve, you're next up.
Whether it's the bow and New York or whatever, it seems kind of relish playing how are you able to, at such a young age, have to be finger boys when you're playing in hospital environments like this, kind of play even better?
Yeah, I've always, ever since I was in middle school, when I was going on the road in middle school, I was always loved playing on the road. I love playing against the opposing crowd, an opposing team, and it feels like you're really you're with your team and it's just them in the building. And I think that really brings our group together. We're a close group. And when you're on the road, it really forces you to come closer with your teammates to really find a way to win. And I think that's why I really like playing on the road with this team.
All right, next question's coming from Sarah Spencer.
Hey, Trey. Good to see you
What's up?
again.
Good to see you.
How big were John and Clint in the fourth quarter? They both had 2 big offensive rebounds for you guys down the stretch. Just how key was that?
Yeah, they were very big. Very big in the fourth quarter. Big the whole game. They made a lot of plays down the stretch. Clint for sure on the defensive end and rebounding. And then JC with his scoring, and he had a big three in front of their bench. And then he just played really well the whole game, and it was a fun game. And those two played really well.
Chris Kirshner.
What's up?
What have you learned from Nate since he's taken over, just about leadership, whether it's on the court, dictating the offense, and off the court, being that guy in the locker room of both teams?
Just that I know we're always in the game. He tells me that he believes that if it's a couple possessions in a game that I can win anything. And whenever you have a coach that believes in you and tells you that all the time, it really gives not only you confidence but your teammates confidence. And I think that's something that I've really taken away from him. He's taught me a lot about it.
The Hawks haven't won a conference finals game before, at least since moving to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Being a part of that, being a leader of this team, what does that mean?
It's special. It's special. I wanted to achieve things like that when I was a rookie coming in. As a rookie, you don't know how hard it is until you have to actually do it. And so to achieve accomplishment like that and winning our first of hopefully many conference games, it's a great accomplishment for our team and for the city.
Joe Barton.
Hey, Trey. Do you feel underestimated? I don't mean like social media or when you're looking for motivation before games. I mean on the floor, given the shots, the you are so good at, like tonight, all that room you had with the floater early, and some of the threes, but you feel that teams, are you sometimes surprised at the space you still get given all the damage you've done?
No, I'm not surprised because I know I can. I've seen pretty much every defense, and it's really just figuring out what type of defense they're showing that night. And so I'm not surprised. For me, it's just trying to make the right read and figure out how they're going to guard. And they guard a certain way, and just trying to make plays and attack that way. So I'm not really surprised ever.
All right, Tim Bontemps. Trey, to that point, it seemed like, especially early in the game, they were kind of letting you get to that floor and kind of sticking everybody else. Did you think that, in particular with the hot start you got from that mid-range, did that kind of ignite your game and kind of, as the game went on, force them to change what they were doing?
I don't know, maybe. To be honest, I don't really try to focus on that. I know when I played them the one game out of the three this season, they were playing the same defense tonight, and I missed a lot of floaters. I shot, I think, 17% from the field, and it just didn't work. But tonight, they played the same way, and it was a different result. So it's really just if my shots are going to go in or not. And I just got to focus and be ready to make them.
When you talk about that belief that Nate has in you, it seems like you guys as a team kind of thrive on that.
Yeah.
That first game one back in New York, you guys were down in the fourth quarter, come back in the game. Obviously, the same thing happened tonight. You guys have come back a bunch of these games. Where does that belief come from in a group that has obviously gone through this for the first time in the 6-row playoff?
Yeah, I mean, really just comes from, the leaders. We all the leaders, we really believe in each other. And the leaders of this team, from Nate down, we all just believe. And when you have a group that really believes in each other and really is fighting on the court for each other, anything can happen. And I think our team really believes that, and it's been working.
Ben Galloway, they went to some smaller alignments in the fourth quarter. What kind of adjustments does that require from you, or how do you attack those?
Just figuring out where the mismatch is or where the matchup is for us that we can go to, whether it's Gallo in the post or somebody on the perimeter. So, when they go to a small lineup, we just got to figure out how to attack them, and our bigs got to crash the glass a lot more, especially when they go small.
All right, Jelani's going to take over.
All right, first question from Zach Klein.
Trey, you scored or assisted on 72 points. That's basically 62% of the offense tonight, which was a conference finals record. Is this what's needed from you to get 3 more wins and move on?
I don't know. Every game brings a different challenge. Tonight, we needed it to win by 3 points. So if it's going to be needed next game, I'll be ready. But if it's not, we win, I'll be happy regardless. So that's all my goal is at the end of the day, is just try to figure out a way to help my team win.
Jeff Schultz.
Trey, do you view you guys as having any sort of ceiling this year?
What'd you say?
Do you view this team as having any sort of ceiling this year? I mean, you've already surpassed, I think, what most people thought you would do. No.
No, I told it. I don't know who asked me a long time ago, but I've been getting asked that a lot at the beginning of the season. I told everybody then, like, I didn't believe we had any ceiling. I think we can go as far as we want to, and I don't think there is a ceiling unless you put the finals on it. So I believe in this team, and we all believe in each other.
Is that unique? Because it doesn't see, obviously, you know, the situations you guys have been in this year in some games and series. I mean, to have a situation where you're just, to be on a team that nothing seems to phase you guys, no situation, no road game, no injuries, no nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what the question was.
Is it unique to be? Is it unique to be in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely unique. It's one of my favorite teams I've been a part of. This is a special group, so it's definitely a unique group.
Let's go to Justin Felder.
Hey, Trey, after that lob to John off the backboard, Kent Bazemore tweeted that you guys used to do that all the time in practice. He never thought you'd do it in a game. John looked like he had a big smile. Take me through that play, your reaction, and John seemed to be pretty pleased with it too.
Yeah, base, so I do that a couple of times in practice, and drills and things like that. So that's funny. Yeah, like we said in the locker room, he knew it was coming. He knew when it's the difference between one of my floaters and one of my passes off the backboard. So that's just the connection we have and type of chemistry we have. So it's fun playing with him.
Last two. First from Vinny Goodwill.
Trey, when you're reading the game and you go from sort of reading the game to sort of taking it over like you did in the third quarter, is that a conscious decision? Do you read the game in the first half, or do you just decide, hey, we can make a run here and I can do it? What goes through your mind when you make that decision to be more assertive?
It's a game flow. I mean, if I got a couple shots going, if I've hit a couple in a row, my teammates are looking for me to be aggressive and to keep going. And in the third quarter, it was kind of that kind of way. Last game it was Kev. I mean, it's always a different guy sometimes. And tonight this is kind of how it was. And my teammates were telling me to be aggressive in the third quarter and to keep going.
Okay, Trey, we got a few more actually. We'll go to Mark Schwartz from ESPN.
Trey, Nate made a really great comment a few minutes earlier. He said that your style of play is built for this time of the season. What does he mean by that?
I don't know. Maybe he just knows my mentality and just knows me. Just knows I'm all for the biggest moments. And I don't know. I feel like I've worked my whole life, and we've talked about it in our little conversations we've had, that just getting to the playoffs is something that I wanted to do this year. And as a team, and not making the last 2 years has been tough. And so just having that motivation that when we got here to be ready, it was definitely something that I was thinking about.
Why do you think that you've been able to succeed at such a high level in this scenario when so many guys going through it the first time really struggle badly?
It's a lot of reasons. I mean, when you have a coach that believes in you, and then you got great teammates around you that make plays and also believe in you, it makes my job a lot easier. So I just go out there, I have fun, enjoy the game, and just try to leave it at that. And then whatever happens, happens. So it's been fun.
Final question from Jeff Silgett.
Trey, you just mentioned that basketball is a fun game, obviously, but there's also a lot of stake right here. So I'm wondering, do you embrace the magnitude of the situation to have fun, or do you try to downplay, how big this is and just go out and play and try to have fun? Which one is it?
I mean, I know it's a big deal, but not a lot of people believe we can win. And so that's one thing right there. So, I mean, it's a big deal, but, I mean, not a lot of people think it's a big deal to us. So, for us, we just got to go out there, have fun, play the right way, and keep doing what we've been doing. That's all we got to focus on.
Thank you, Trey.
Appreciate it.
Next, we will be joined by Clint Capela and Kevin Huerter at the same time. So if you've got a question for one or both of them, please feel free to raise your hand and we will begin as soon as they are available. Kevin and Clint, thank you for joining us. I believe Garen will kick things off with those who are present in the room, and we'll come back to the Zoom room as soon as that's open.
Okay. Sarah Spencer?
Hey guys, good to see y'all in person. It's been a while. I think it was y'all were down 7 with about 4.5 minutes to go. Just what was the biggest thing that helped you guys not only get back in it, but also win this and close this one out?
I mean, I think we knew we had to get stops. They were kind of living in our paint all game, and we had to try to make them kick it out. We needed to get stops to give us a chance offensively, and we did that enough down the stretch. And Trey hit some big shots, and big free throws. JC had a big 3, and we needed to protect the paint at the end of the game. And for the most part, we did it enough to win.
Chris Kirschner.
Hey, Kevin. How have you seen Trey's ability to lead this team both on and off the floor grow in your 3 seasons together now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said a lot after last game. It's like it's his game management. It's being aware of everything, how to close games, how to lead everybody. And right now, I feel like in a lot of ways we're just following his mentality. He's been fearless since he came into the league. Took the league by storm, and everything he's doing right now on this stage, it's what you guys have been seeing when nobody else was for the past 2 years, and he's just doing it on this stage. So we're out here, we believe in each other, we're confident. Everyone seems to be fearless on the stage, and he's obviously the ringleader of that.
Nate said the other day how he feels like the team has taken on his identity and mentality. Do you guys feel that? Both of you can answer.
Yeah, definitely. Every time we start in the game, he set the tone pretty early. Like Kev said, fearless, attacking again and again, using his speed and everything, passing, keeping guys involved, and he's been contagious in a positive way.
For Tim Thomas from ESPN, for both of you guys, you've been down a bunch of times in these road games. Obviously, you're down a ton in Game 5 last year in the last series. You're down Game 1 against the Knicks. You're down tonight with 5 minutes to go. What is it about this team that hasn't been together in a playoff series or a playoff run before this that's allowed you guys to keep fighting back and coming back and winning these road games for the first time?
I think our mentality is just to keep playing. Whenever we make a mistake on defense, we try to not make it again. Not really focus on the score, but more about our mistakes that we're making, how offensively we can execute better, create even multiple possession on offense, offensive rebound, kick it out, get open threes, get defensive stops, and it really generates us in both ends of the floor.
Okay, another question from Sarah.
Kevin, for you, obviously Bogey's kind of on one leg right now, but Nate mentioned it's been really key for you guys to get the minutes you have from him, just have his presence out there, even if he's not 100% himself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's we need him. He's a smart player. Obviously, just really good at the game of basketball, just knowing the game and being in the right spots. And he's out there in one leg. He's got it out for us right now, and I'm sure he probably wants to be out there more, but just having his presence on the court, still being a shooting threat. Defense is obviously you still got to prepare for him and making the right plays. And defensively, he did a couple big steals for us, and just being in the fight. We still need that from him for sure. It's big, and there might be one of these games where the leg feels better than it does the day before, and he goes off for a bogey type of game.
All right, July, take over.
And we will start on the Zoom with Mark Schwartz of ESPN.
Here's one for both of you guys. Nate said before that Trey's game is really built for this time of the season, which kind of surprised me only because Trey's never been on this stage and he's never played this time of the season. Why do you think Trey's game is built for this time of year?
Just like Kev said, I think he's really fearless. I've been on the stage. It's my second time, and I've seen a lot of players just retreat whenever they get on the stage. But what I see from him is so much confidence, fearless, attacking me again and again, and it's really contagious on our team, And he's been doing it since we started.
Kevin, what do you think?
I mean, he's a prolific scorer. I mean, he's one of the best pick and roll players in the league. Like you said, this isn't something new. It's something he's been doing for the past 2+ years and scoring at a really high level. Getting guys involved, and I think in the playoffs, the ball's usually in the best player on the team's hands. A lot more than it might be in the regular season. You trust them to make a lot of plays, and the way the Bucks play defense, we're running a lot of pick and roll right now, and that's one of his biggest strengths is coming off and scoring, obviously, finding guys. And so it's stuff he's been doing. It's just everybody's seeing it now.
Zach Klein.
Kev, we saw after the Game 1 wins in New York and Philly on the road what happened in Game 2. Was there a common theme in those Game 2 losses, a sense of letdown, or was just an off night? And I guess how do you learn from those two Game 2s? for Friday?
Yeah, I think just an off night. Anytime it's tough to win on the road in the playoffs. It's tough to win in somebody else's building. Teams are obviously the best teams in the league right now. So obviously tonight we took care of business. We got another big one on Friday. I can't remember what day of the week it is. It's Wednesday right now. We got another big one on Friday against a really good team. So we got to refocus and get back to it.
Kevin Chenard.
This is a question for both of you. How does it change the vibe when Trey breaks off a defender for a shimmy three or throws an alley-oop off the glass?
It gets our bench hyped, to get us hyped. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. Even that pass against the backboard, like that's crazy shit. That's crazy. Honestly, I've played with a lot of good players. I've never seen that, especially on the stage, and it's crazy to see.
McLean Baxley of the AJC.
Question for Clint. They're in the first half and first quarter especially. The Bucks are doing a good job of scoring in the paint. What adjustments did you make to kind of hold your ground and finish with a playoff career high 19 rebounds and kind of take over there in the second half?
Yeah, just be a presence inside. We knew in the first half that didn't score a lot in the paint, so we knew that got to do a better job. This team really puts pressure on the rim every single time. We have a lot of guys that are really aggressive, really smart. They play the right way. We just have to make it tougher for them and make sure that we don't get any second chances on those rebounds. I was really focusing on that also. Make sure that it was a one-team shot and to help us generate our offense.
How difficult is it, mentally and physically, to get the rebound and then immediately to go back up to lay it in or slam it home? I mean, what's your mind thinking in those 3 or 4?
That's really a mentality. Whenever we go get that rebound, we want to get back up hard. I know I have two trees also in their team trying to block the shot, so I know I have to go back up pretty hard and just do that over and over again.
Jamila Johnson.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. I know you've already kind of sung Coach McMillan's praises during the season, of course, closing out the games during the season, but the playoffs are obviously a different kind of story here. And with you guys winning on the road to open the series in each series, what does that say about his coaching style and his ability to kind of close out games and adjust it?
Yeah, I mean, we just keep finding a way. I think that's the best way to put it. Coach, he's got a lot of belief in us. Really, at all moments of the game, it doesn't matter if we're up or down. His message usually stays the same. So end of games, it seems like it's always somebody different right now, and just keep finding a way. I feel like that's just the best way to put it. I don't think it was our best game, and we find a way to win.
Tim Bontemps in the room.
I just wanted to follow up on that shimmy in particular. I know you guys know how Trey plays, the confidence plays with, but do you kind of almost laugh or anything or react in the moment when you see him stand there and do that when he's got a few seconds before he's kind of standing there and doing anything?
Personally, I was like, wow, is he going to make that too?
Yeah.
And when it went splash, I was like, oh, wow. We all seen it.
I mean, I feel like we're thinking the same thing you guys are. It's like, wow, he just did that. It's like, wow, he just made that too.
And I felt like there was just, everybody was just so far out. I was like, wow, damn, nobody's around? Like, was it that bad? Because, I was like, wow.
It's wide open.
Let's go to Brandon Harper.
Yeah, congrats on the win, fellas. It wasn't a very heavy foul-riddled game, this game one. How did the flow of the game to you all, and as far as just refs allowing you all just to kind of just freely play and not calling everything?
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, both teams are probably feeling each other out. Game one, for us, we probably got to be more physical under the ball. They lived in our paint that whole first half. It's got to be a team defense mentality, especially with the 3 guys they got over there and the shooters they have around them. So I think both teams will probably be more physical game 2. Again, I think as first game, you're feeling each other out, you're learning each other's plays, everything you've been preparing for the last couple of games, and we'll continue to lock in, and we got to be more physical, protect the paint for sure.
Last two from Zach Klein and then Christos.
Kev, quick follow on the shimmy. What are the odds you do it in your career, let alone the conference finals?
I can tell you I'm not doing it in the conference finals. That might be like second game of the year next year or something like that. But that's definitely not me.
It's not happening.
And we will end with Christos.
So, guys, congratulations on the win. Clint, how special is that team, and what aspects make this team so special?
Fearless team. We just go and play. We go out there and play. I feel like we all know that we earned the right to be here. We worked hard the whole year. We made it here, and I just feel like we just play like we belong. Really aggressive the whole game, play with confidence. Everybody's fearless, and I think that this is the mentality that you need to have. This is the mentality that you tell yourself that the sky's the limit. So when you play with that energy, that connection, that synergy, I just feel like our team is unstoppable.
And Kevin, what would you like to maintain from game 1 to game 2, and how important for you to prepare yourselves from the reaction of Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, they're gonna respond. They're a really good team. Yeah, we have a lot of things we know we can fix up. I'm sure they have a lot of things they can fix up. In a lot of ways, it was kind of an ugly game, other than Trey going off, and a couple of their guys had good games, but I think both teams probably feel like they can play better. So game 2 is gonna be an interesting one.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
All right. The next player and final player to join us will be John Collins. So if you've got a question for JC, please raise your hand. As I guess it's customary, I can say that now. We will begin inside the room with questions from those who are in person, and then we will come back to Zoom.
Yeah. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Just as a reminder, though, it will be 11:59 Sunday, so be ready for that.
Yeah, this is what? It's
All right.
crazy.
John, thanks for joining us. We'll start here in
For
the
real.
room with Miss Sarah Spencer.
Hey,
What's
Johnny.
up, Sarah?
Good to see you in person.
Good to see you. Right, it's crazy.
I know, it's good. What's it like, just a game like this where Trey is going off the way he is? What's it like, and then, but also the connection that you and him had tonight as well?
Yeah, I don't really have in a great way. Not much to say about Trey. It's almost normal at this point for me, being with him for so long, to see him get going in the way they were playing him, for him to catch a rhythm. It's nothing new for me. 48 points is amazing, though. Obviously, he brought his lunch pail today, and he was ready to go. But I always see him catch rhythm, and it's fun to see, fun to play with as well. And our chemistry has always been great since the first day we stepped on the court.
So you knew that lob was coming off the backboard. You knew it wasn't a floater, right?
No, yeah, definitely. I can't really give away how I know, but I know for sure.
Chris.
See what up?
Do you remember the first time that you caught one of those passes off the glass before from Trey?
Yeah, in game it was preseason game against New Orleans, and then we obviously did it in Brooklyn. But we've done it in practice 100 times. You know what I mean? So
Trey's rookie year against San Antonio at Georgia Tech. You remember that one?
yeah, it was in San Antonio. I thought it was New Orleans. No?
San Antonio.
Huh. You sure? Yeah. I thought I just watched it. Either way, see, now we got too many. But no, then again, I know, we got great chemistry enough for me to understand when he likes to throw certain passes and when he likes to, do whatever. I feel like we've just built that, on and off the court, getting to this point.
I was going to ask you, how have you seen your relationship with Trey develop in his 3 seasons now, and where do you think it is right now, chemistry-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we obviously always have room to get better and grow in areas, but we're sort of at the we know each other stage without speaking. You know what I mean? And it's just stuff like that happens. So where I'm reading his mind as well as, he knows what I like to do, and I know where he likes to get to his spots at. And we really don't need to say much. We just really need to have opportunities to catch flow and catch a rhythm. And I feel like we did that tonight, and it was easy to see.
Tim. Hey, John. Tim Bonsis from ESPN. Good to see
Sir.
you. You guys have all talked about the confidence you guys have and kind of the cues you take from Trey. And you guys are all used to seeing him do this stuff. You were down in game 1 against the Knicks. You were down a bunch in game 5 against the Sixers. You're down tonight with 5 minutes to go. Is that confidence what's allowing you guys to make these comebacks and win these games on the road in the playoffs for the first time as a group?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, Trey's confidence is a huge part. I feel like, it gives our team, some juice. It's an added benefit to know this guy is coming out to play every single night. He's, a dog in his own respect, in his own right. He's coming to play every single day. And I feel like teams have to prepare for him because he knows how to get to his spots and be effective, as well as, include his teammates. So, sky's the limit for Trey, and we benefit off of him. We feed off of his energy as well.
And what has allowed you guys, like tonight, obviously the Bucks get to the rim early, they're kind of able to do what they want on offense, but as the game went on, you were able to shift things around and kind of, get the rhythm back in your guys' favor. What has allowed you guys to have that kind of moxie in, like I said, obviously the first time most of you guys have been in a playoff setting like this?
Yeah, really, I'd probably say 3 things. Just to, the presence of veteran leadership to tell the young dudes, guys on the court, what's going on. Got to show some love to coach as well for the adjustments made, and obviously ourselves for going out there and just competing and having some pride and not letting them just do the same thing over and over again and trying to just make everything they get as tough as possible. So, sort of the mindset.
Joe.
John, Joe Barton from The Athletic. Watching you guys this playoffs, it's almost hard to believe that at one point you were 14.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
How hard was it to fix all the stuff that was wrong back then?
It was tough. It wasn't easy to say per se, right? Winning in this league is never easy. And I definitely feel like, giving ourselves a deficit of games to come back and still try to compete to make the playoffs it's always tough. But as I said, when we have a group of guys who believe in each other, we have the right pieces, and obviously coach helping us to, prepare us for the journey. I feel like, things like that can happen in this league with the team we have. So very tough, but we're built for it, I feel like, as we've shown.
The last one here in the room, Steve with Associated Press.
The way y'all played on the road this postseason, did y'all know that you had this kind of Saturday y'all could play as well as having the postseason? Surprised yourself at all with the way you played in the road environment in the postseason?
Definitely surprised all of ourselves a little bit. I feel like just how, like you said, we've handled it, how we've been able to win and go in those environments and still compete and play our game. But I feel like this year specifically was tailor-made for us to feel more comfortable on the road with COVID and all the extra tests. And, now we sort of play series against certain teams instead of one game and gone. So I'd say the transition, I feel like, to being in this stage sort of was always there in a way with the new changes the league made this year because of COVID-19. So in a weird way, I feel like it helped us But at the end of the day, we have to go out there and compete and win the games. But a lot of stuff factors into, so I feel like why we're here.
Tony, they went on a 9-0 run. They're up 7 with about 4.5 minutes left. They've been putting their feet on people's throats at home when they get in that situation. Y'all turned it right back around immediately after. How were you able to kind of turn things around as quickly as you were against
Having that confidence and understanding to know that they're going to make a run. You know, they have talented guys, great coach, and we know they're at home and they're going to get energy and find a way to put the ball in the bucket. But it's a matter of us just trying to withstand and hold the fort and try to make plays. And I feel like we did that down the end, but it was that knowing that we're still in the game regardless of whatever happens.
All right, Jelani, take it away.
Jeff Schultz.
John, you sort of started to allude to this a little bit, but I think you've been an underdog in something like 11 of your 13 playoff games so far this year. So for whatever reason, there's still this perception out there that you guys are not as good as you're playing out there, not as good as the teams you're going against. What is it that you think people don't know about your team yet?
You know, I feel like a lot of people haven't watched us until now, and I feel like that's a big part of it. Just to be frank, but you know, I feel like we've just put ourselves in position to do this all year. If you look at our team makeup and our team structure of what we've been able to do, I just feel like it speaks for itself in a lot of ways. But you know, this team is dangerous.
I think you might have just said this a minute ago too, but are you a little surprised that nothing really seems to phase you guys? Whether it's a road game, whether it's a huge deficit, whether it's crunch time in the last couple of minutes?
Not sort of surprised. You know, I feel like the guys in this team have done a great job of preparing. You know, coach does a great job of getting us prepared and ready to go, understanding game plan, matchups, and just what we want to do and how we want to have a mentality as a team. And I feel like all that stuff plays into the factor, not just who's on the team, not just, you know, averages. And, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of factors that go into winning NBA games, especially playoff games.
I mean, 3 straight series I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say 3 straight series you walk into an opponent's building and win game 1. That's pretty remarkable for any team.
No, I definitely, you know, I feel like it definitely puts some respect on our name for sure. Going into 2 hostile environments, you know, and coming out with victories in game 1 is definitely something to be proud of. And I feel like it's prepared us for, you know, moments like this right now.
Zach Klein.
John, just to follow up what Jeff was talking about, you know, winning these on the road, but we know what's happened in game 2s, the earlier 2 series in this playoffs. So how do you avoid just not being satisfied with a split in these first 2 games on the road?
Exactly sort of what you alluded to is, you know, watching film and just trying to stay hungry and understanding that, you know, we have a list or a resume of games in the playoffs that we can go look at and try to get better at and improve on. But as I said before, I feel like just having that experience gives us a little extra confidence, knowing that, you know, we can change the outcome of this series and not let it be the same.
Let's go to Steve Hummer.
Hey, John, you got a pretty good T-shirt out of the last series. I wonder what kind of image from tonight, that one moment that you had that you might want to put on your next shirt.
Nah, you know, there's a little story behind why I did that. You know, nobody on that team, you know, has a story that can be linked to me putting them on a shirt. For now, at least, I don't really feel like it's gonna happen, but it's a little bit of a build up to why I did what I did. So.
Well, then we'll just go about this from all the things that you did, from the rebounding to the spectacular dunks to the key 3 at the end, toward the end of the game. What would you pick as a personal favorite then?
For me, it's just those offensive rebounds. You know, I like those because those are extra possessions, and I just feel like it gets the team going, the energy on our team going. You know, those are gritty plays and plays that win games. You know, I'm giving people extra possessions rather than making an open shot or, you know, dunking on somebody, which I love to do as well. But, you know, trying to find ways for our team to win, and, you know, makes me happy at the end of the day.
Thanks.
Got about 5 more, JC. We will go they'll be quick. I'm sure they will. Can you
My bad. No, I'm good. We good, Joe. We good, line. I'm here for you.
appreciate you? Go ahead, Maria.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry. Hey, John, you made that comment about knowing each other without speaking. We've talked about this, the confidence in this team. Do you feel like the camaraderie and the way that you guys are playing right now is allowing you to play a little bit more freely?
Definitely. It's been a very up and down year for us. Not really having a healthy roster for the entire year, having other guys step up and interchange in positions while other guys have to, come back and rehab. I feel like it's given our team a bunch of added depth, experience, and just confidence in ourselves to know that regardless of who's here, what matches we have, that we've, really stretched, the limits of this team out and sort of just tested what we can do. And as I said before, that just gives us, extra confidence to just come out here and play free as well.
And really quickly, I don't know if you've been asked this, but how do you allow yourself to not look ahead now that you have game one on the road? I mean, how do you allow yourself to really stay focused in this moment and take care of business with Milwaukee?
In a weird way, it's kind of easier to lock in and focus on, what's in front of you in the playoffs. During the season, 82 games, travel everywhere, just a different feel. For me, playoffs has sort of been a little bit of a turn down in the sense of, we have one team to game plan for. We have to beat them 4 times. So just an overload of information about that team. And I feel like it just slows us all down and allows us to process a little bit more.
Vinny Goodwill.
Hey, John, I'm just curious because you guys have probably been underdogs in most of the games that you've played in the playoffs. Has there come points in games where maybe you've taken the team's best shot and you're still standing, where you sense that the opposing team is surprised that you're still there? That can you kind of see it on their faces that, you guys maybe have taken a 15-point run and you come in hitting a few shots and it kind of deflates them a little bit?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily maybe say deflate, but I definitely feel like, when teams play us for the first time, there's a different presence or energy that comes about them to let them know that we're serious. But I definitely feel like we've taken a lot of teams' best shots, but we're just so prepared in a lot of ways that you're going to have to continue to give us that best shot, all night, or we're just going to keep knocking at the door. And that's what I feel like is one of the most dangerous things about this team is, you got to play really well the entire night. Like I said, we're coming.
Last 3 from Mark Schwartz with ESPN.
John, almost anyone would agree that taking a shimmy 3 and lobbing one off the backboard during a conference final game is something that pretty much no one in the universe would attempt. But Trey Young attempted both of those tonight. What does that say, and what effect did it have on you and your teammates to see that kind of swag?
Trey's a bold dude, to be frank with you. That he lives for those moments. I don't know what more people need to see from him in the playoffs to let them know that he's a big time player. He loves the bright lights. I forgot about the shimmy, but that's just Trey. That's his swag, and if it helps him make the shot, then keep shimmying, my boy.
What did it do for you, just the lob off the glass? What impact did it have on your emotion at that moment?
For me, that's a spark of energy. In that moment, me and Trey came to some basketball chemistry understanding, and I went up and finished the play. But I just feel like it turns my motor back up a little bit and just makes me play a little extra harder. I just dunked on somebody, so that's gonna turn me up.
Jamila.
Hey, John, congrats on the win.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So kind of reflecting back to your draft press conference and just how young you looked and how new everything was to you, and your mom was kind of telling childhood stories. Have you taken the time to kind of reflect on how far you've come and just kind of sit back and be like, this is where I am right now?
I definitely do. And it's kind of hard to continue to do it during the season or during moments like these big moments where I'm trying to continue to look forward. But it really happens all the time. I'm really thinking about it all the time, about just my progression, about my future, about the present. But it's something that I think about a lot and want to continue to mold into something that is the best for me.
And the final question tonight will come from Ferdinand Rivera in Puerto Rico.
PR power.
Hey, John, congrats on the win from Puerto Rico. We see your connection in and off the court with Trey Young. How much you enjoy playing with him, and what you think of his progress through the years?
I love, playing with Trey. I always, tell everybody, I feel like our games fit like puzzle pieces. He's great at creating and finding, slivers and holes, and I'm great at, finishing the basketball, finishing those great plays that, he makes. And I feel like it just makes a great combo, as well as us liking each other off the court. But it's great to see him mature and grow. I will say he's always had that swag, but it's definitely becoming a little bit more mature and understanding, certain moments and certain instances where he can impose his will. And I feel like he's, finding ways to do that more and more now.
Thank you.
Thank you, JC.
Lonnie, see you, my guy.
See you.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you guys again. This is
Thanks,
all right, everybody. Thank you for joining. We will
Thanks,
see you
Lonnie.
again. Of course. Thank you all.
Thank you.